And we're live. There we go. Killed that. Oh, nearly stuffed up this morning. Anyway, g'day, Robert Mack. He was here 15 minutes ready. 15 minutes ago, ready to play. And Mark in Thailand. G'day, Mark. Stewie from Newcastle, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Or, yeah, I think it's Newcastle. But anyway, good morning.
Morning.
Morning. I've got to get that little clip going. But morning. Just flick it over and say morning.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but I really I don't know. Was it? Yeah. Mark in Thailand. Hello. Yes. Anyway, it's been another one of those weeks.
Someone celebrated a birthday.
Well, it started the week. There was the start of the week, so we last Saturday, as we go from Saturday live stream last week to Saturday live stream this week. What did we do? Like, we went out and spent more of Todd's money. And we still haven't bought him a UPS yet. Oh my God! So the video, I think we put it up yesterday. The video yesterday was us going and getting a haircut for him, and then getting his computer. So we got him all set up, and he's had the computer running since Saturday afternoon. Well, hasn't been running. He's had it up and running, and a few times, but he hasn't got air conditioning in his room. So, and he called up his mates at Home Pro who looked after him superbly, for the whole moving in process. And unfortunately, the guy that's been helping him out, the guy he speaks pretty good English, doesn't he?
Yeah. No, he's very good. And what he gets frustrated. He can't remember words sometimes, and he's like so apologetic. I'm going, it's all right, Fidel. It's all right, mate. We'll get there.
But unfortunately, he was away on holidays. He had a big fit out to do up north somewhere, wasn't it? Did he say?
He didn't exactly tell me where, but he had to do a fit out at a large location or whatever. So he had to go and supervise and all that sort of stuff. Yes. Plus, he had Chinese New Year break. So
Chinese New Year.
Was in the Yeah.
So
but caught up with him, so that's all sorted now.
Yeah, so you got him yesterday, and the air conditioner comes in next Monday. So it's all on track, and we should have him plugged in. As I said, I've just sent him a link to Lazada, which we have got to deal with, because as soon as we get the computer up and running for gaming, the first thing I want is bloody a UPS. We get a brownout here probably once every 3 or 4 days, and brownouts kill computers. Most people don't realise how much they can kill a computer, unless of course you've worked in the industry and you've actually dealt with having to sell UPSs to people around the place. And the average person, the power supply in Australia is what I have to sort of say. Well, I don't know what it's like these days, but since the 70s, when we had all those power outages, you remember the big power outages? Oh, sorry, you're 10 years younger than me, don't you? You probably don't remember that stuff. During the 70s, the early 70s, we had atrocious problems with the power. Whereas basically up where we lived in Hornsby, they obviously didn't have enough feed or enough supply or something, and we were having blackouts every few days. It was terrible. Hello, Ralph. G'day, Ralph. How you doing? Hello, Wazza peeps. Set up an alternative works station today. Hopefully, can stay the entire hour. Well, hopefully, have you around. Join us, yes. But yeah, so, we had terrible problems in the 70s in Australia, but after they solved that problem, and it was all part of the oil embargo, it was all sort of quite interlinked, and Bossa Nova's there too. But yeah, so, and probably from the 80s onwards, we really had quite a stable power supply. There was always the problem with power supply in in bushfire seasons when, it'd take out a power pole and pull cables down or melt cables, and, they had to reroute power. But we had a pretty good clean supply in Australia, well, where we lived it anyway. Here, oh my God, I don't know what they're doing. The supply here, well, we've had one in the what was it, January, so we moved in May, so we've been here 8 months, and we've only had one outage, which was about 2 hours. I think it was about 2 hours. So that's the only power outage we have, and we don't know what caused that. I think we were told via the grapevine, which you can never really rely on, that it was somebody hit a pole. These things happen. Well, I know we've had the internet taken out for a day because somebody hit a pole. I think I did. They put them in the video somewhere. But yeah, that was just around the corner. But yeah, somebody hit a pole down in Omyai somewhere, and it took out something and pulled the whole feed down for a couple of hours, and it took them 2 hours to reroute. I often wonder, 2 hours is not too bad when you start to think of a power pole going down and then fucking had the thing up and running in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It'd take Sydney a day, the way, like, got to get the gaffer, you got to get the foreman, you got to get the linesman, you got to you've got 8 or 9 different contractors to watch one guy string the cable. How it works. But here, that's like building a computer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just things something.
Believe you. I mean, I something like that. Yeah, a couple of days, I'll come back, give you another excuse to walk around the mall and everything like that. Wazza cheekily goes, "Oh yeah. Oh, no, I'll be ready in an hour." What?
Yeah. Well, I think this is what happened.
Everything properly in an hour.
This is what happened with. How do you turn off spell check? I have no idea. I spell checking. I run Grammarly on my web browser, so it does all the spell checking for me. I underline shit, But spell checking, isn't that a mobile phone thing? Anyway,
if you're on a mobile phone, yeah. But I don't know what boss is on, whether he's on PC or mobile. So
yeah, so. Anyway, who else we got there? Okay. Kimbo, Limbo. Okay, fine.
That's what
he's in limbo. He's back in Australia. He's in limbo.
Got to find another pole and a pro line and dig a new hole. Yeah, I know, it's Australian, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I sort of, that's the only time we've had a power outage. But brownouts, I don't know what they do with the supply here, whether they've got to change, they do a flip on a transformer or something because the transformer's overheating or what. But there's always, we always get the brownouts. Yeah, more commonly called autocomplete I know what I'm saying, but the phone doesn't. It's a brownouts. They really can completely screw your computer up. So we've got to get that sorted out. I've got I sent Todd a link to the brand that I've got and I've had running for 5 years, and that's done us quite well. Probably after 5 years, I should see about getting new batteries on it, but I don't even know if that model actually does new batteries. One of the things my computer business did was we had the Upsonic contract for Sydney, and that was one of our best lines of service we did, which was changing batteries out. And I also remember sort of doing a battery extension for one of my big clients, putting in another sort of 5 kVA extension, fully discharged the system. Yeah. Bing, bing, shot me across the room. Oh my God. It was death number 3 that I managed to survive. But it's like, it takes a bit to kill me. Oh, except for my back is killing me right now. Starting to show. Okay, anyway, let's not go into the old age thing. I'm 41 in a few months. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, so that was Saturday. So we got the computer all sorted out. When I had mine built, which was 5 years ago, I did the same thing. So when do you want me to come back in a week? Because like we would sort of, when we ran our business, like you order your computer, like okay, well, at a pinch we could get it running in 3 days. It's a 24-hour burn in, blah blah blah. Got to source the parts because we don't keep the parts in stock. All that sort of stuff. But we usually say, come back in a week and it'll be ready. Give us a deposit now and come back in a week. No, here. 1 week, no, come back 1 hour.
We went and had lunch.
Had lunch and to come back and it's all packed. Well, it's all packed up, almost packed already because we had this. Yeah. Shagger's back, not quite Big W. I think just old age back, or more beer gut carrying more weight on your front rather than on. I've got to get beer gut away. I've got carrying 8 kilos extra, forward of my spine, which is where the problem is. I think I'm just going to trim down a bit. I'm too. I was sort of somebody on Facebook. I think it was Facebook yesterday was just saying something along those lines. And he says, I'm dreading coming to live in Thailand because I love food. I'm going to put on so much weight. I says, yeah, it's the biggest challenge we have here. The food is so good. You both are g'day, how you doing? Ralph Lewis, but if you type a word and your phone doesn't recognise it, tap it on the check mark and that will add you to the phone's directory. Okay, right, yeah. There is that way as well. Talk about autocomplete. The joys of computers taking over the world. Big W, my saying, it takes a big hammer to drive a big nail. Yes, I think, you drive a Ferrari too, Mr. Big W, don't you? It's all about show. Thanks, Ruff. I'm using a Samsung pad thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's autocomplete being an arsehole for you. Anyway, so that was Saturday. We did Saturday pretty good. And then so what else was there? Then yes, right. The video I've got in the can, still haven't put out, was the Mondays trouncing around because it was Chinese New Year.
Yep.
I don't know. What did you do for Chinese New Year, Todd? I don't know.
I hung out with you. We went to dinner at that Japanese restaurant.
That's right.
We did some more shopping.
Wasn't a regular. I'm talking the whole day. So we in the afternoon. Todd only lives around the corner, and people have got a misconception about this thing as well. It's I've got to try to arrest this. Todd doesn't live with me, right? Todd lives, he's sniper distance away. I could, if I hadn't had high enough perch, I could take him out with a high powered. Well, I don't know. Can you do a 3 kilometre? I don't know. 3 kilometres, isn't it? What's the longest?
Yeah,
what's the longest? What's the longest sniper? 3.2 kilometres, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just over 3.2 kilometres. Yeah. That's been confirmed.
Yeah.
I'll say that's been confirmed.
Let's quickly just go to maps. Let's see if we can get a straight line distance. So from here, measure distance from here, and you're in that house there.
You'd have better luck with a mortar.
Oh, it's only 1.5. No. It's 1.5 kilometres. So I could do that. I could take that shot.
Yeah.
With the right conditions. It's about 3 or 4 kilometres to drive there because you've got to drive down and around and up and around. Yeah. But yeah, as the perch is. But yeah, so he doesn't live with me. It's the fact that he doesn't have a car license, or he doesn't have a car. He's got a loan of my second bike, but you can't go shopping with my second bike. So it's just as easy for like if we're going to do something like go shopping, well, we're going shopping. Do you need anything? Come along with us. Just go and pick him up and take him shopping. Or we're going to go to Susie's. Well, we leave the girl at home and we go to Susie's. share the cab. What is it with people? Some people just don't get it.
No.
This is what Aussies do. We take care of each other. Like Todd's new. We're helping him get a foothold here in Thailand. I don't know whether it's just that the English don't do it to their friends in Pattaya. I don't know. This just seems like the right thing to do. It's just one of those things that really sort of bugs me that people seem to have an issue with it. And they're going, what's your problem? I'm sure if I went to Adelaide and I was moving to Adelaide when he was living there, he'd probably even put me up in a spare room. But that's the sort of things Aussies do. We take care of each other. Maybe not the millennial crowd and the younger generations, but definitely us older blokes, we look after each other. That's the way it works. No, he doesn't have a live-in girl yet. I think I saw him chatting up somebody on Tuesday night. Wasn't it? No, that was your birthday. No, was it my birthday? No, that was Australia Day. That wasn't last week. That was the week
I was
before.
being friendly.
Yeah.
Being friendly.
She was an accountant
I'm allowed
somewhere.
to be friendly.
Yeah, she's an accountant.
Yeah.
He was picking the right ones, So, well-to-do, rather attractive, good job. That's the sort of girl you're looking for. And you do meet those in the bars if you're careful, if you do ask the right ones. Yeah. Not the serving staff, but, the girls that are there and they give you the eye, you walk over and start a conversation. Get the fuck off these apps, mate. Honestly, if you try to date on an app, you might as well go and shoot yourself in the fucking head, really. It's all DC. It's all about the conversation. You walk up, you say hello, hi, what's your name, where you stay. No, that's what they do. That's
How
their
much money?
that's their lines. Hi, what's your name, where you stay. You get the idea. It does take conversation to find the good ones.
I'm just relaxing.
Kimbo.
I enjoy.
Yeah, so
There is a bet.
we got
$100. That's $100 drinking money when I'm over there.
we got 4 months and 3 weeks to go. Niall in Thailand, g'day. Epic goatee, man.
That's my little brother, Niall.
Well, he needs to shape it a bit better. There's a bit of extra growth around the side there. You could, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe doesn't
caught out Niall yesterday. I went to Susie's, like I said. We'll backtrack to Tuesday. I went to Susie's yesterday after I went to the language school because I went to pick up textbooks and we've got that group and I just said, hey, I'm at Susie's. We'll be here for a little bit. Welcome to come and have a drink. And Niall responds, but he said, no, mate, I can't come because I was there for a quick pre-lunch beer. And Susie had just told me. So, Niall, you can't go anywhere, mate, without people knowing.
Where you go, I go with you. The pickup line they all used on me. Yeah, well, that usually comes after you buy them the lady drink. Right, that's the next thing they want to do. I go with you. I go with you now. Only 850 baht. They're the wrong ones. Hey, Niall. So getting back to. So Kimbo and I got a bet on that he's going to have a live-in. It's right. And I think there's some collaboration there. So like I only speak to these guys online here in the Discord, but we don't really talk about the only on odd occasions. And I'm pretty sure that they're colluding, right? Because I've seen Todd went to Susie's yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Like, where's the dancing frogs? Where's the
I behaved myself. I mean, it was my first monsoon experience, and it was a monsoon rain. I mean, walking down from the language school to Susie's, no problem, sunshine. It's warm, awesome. I'm at Susie's for like 20 minutes, and it came down. It just came down.
Here it is. Here's the frog, right? The frog dancing in the street in the rain.
Normally you have a couple of girls there, but no, those girls.
Oh, this is another thing I want to talk about is power in Thailand. Look at that. It's fucking raining and PowerPoint sitting there on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a bit of rain. Even here we had a bit of rain too. So, but yeah, so he was stuck at Susie's. Terrible place to get stuck at. Well, they kicked you out at 11. Was it?
Yeah.
No, I think the rain had stopped by 11:30. But so you can't use the rain as a complete excuse. But yeah, the rain came at about 5:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, yeah, something like that. And it went for a good hour. I saw something on Andy Stuberfield's feed as well, and he's managed to sort of get out the first quarantine, and he was ready to go out and party, and it was raining, poor lad. But yeah, so we had a fair bit of rain. Yeah. Well, I said, the Thai girls never liked when I said my fee was 2,000 baht, long time. They never would. That never worked. Yeah, what, you're charging more than them, were you? So you should have said, well, I pay you, you pay me. It's free for. Where are we going to? Dowley, g'day Dowley, good afternoon. Yeah, you're in. Yeah, just make sure I get the time zones right. Saw your video this week. Drunk as him. Poor Niall. No, I think he's got only 60 days left on his visa before they're going to have to kick him out. Poor lad, he has to go back home to that lush green Emerald Island in Ireland. Yeah. You know you had too much when you have to check your videos to remember where you were.
Where you were.
Exactly. Had to subscribe. Well, just stay subscribed, man. It's all right. You don't have to do it. You're going to wait a minute, I know, but that's all right. You should be subscribed anyway. Come on. It's just another one on your list, unless of course you're 1,000 or something you're going to deal with. But yeah. Anyway, so that was Monday. We did Chinese New Year. I got the video. I got to do that. And then we went shopping. Todd came along and we ate. When we said restaurant, it's one of those eateries in the supermarket, but it's Japanese. It's a Japanese ramen bar called Hachiban. And Todd's sitting there talking to the waitress there in Japanese. Oh my God. She was actually answering too. I wouldn't have thought that they did their Japanese that well. But anyway, so we had ramen and odds and ends. It was quite yummy.
Yep.
Tuesday, getting back to Tuesday, so Tuesday was my birthday, and of course there's a 4.5 hour live stream. We had 4 lads and the 3 Songs with us. Chanya was there, Nokyung was there, and Minnie, Psycho's girlfriend. It was a fun night. Niall, unfortunately, he decided to go to Pattaya that day, I think it was. Slacker. He had some sort of excuse he couldn't. He said working. He said he's working. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's probably some girl keeping him in bed or something. I don't know. Who works at 7 o'clock at night? I think they're allocated another round of COVID extension visas, so hopefully I can stay until May. Have you go home in May? Have to go home in May. Parents' 60th wedding anniversary. 60th wedding, man, that's a good innings.
Awesome.
Have to do all the grown-up stuff too. Yeah. I think that's gonna be a culture shock. You've been 21 again here in Thailand for like how long? For over a year. You have to go back an adult for a what? How long you have to go? You have to go back an adult. Who wants to do that shit? Oh my God. I work at 7 o'clock at night. Adulting's not cracked up. It's just, I think that somebody gave us a raw deal, this whole adulting thing. You won't find us adulting here in Thailand. That's one thing for certain. That's definitely, if you come to Thailand, don't adult. Okay, it's just it's not good for you. It's one of the guys at your birthday looked like cat wheeze. Oh, that's
Vance.
That's Vance. No, that's Gandalf. Well, I've nicknamed him Gandalf. Got to get him a pointy hat, because he's never late, he's never early. Wizards always arrive when they're meant to, and But I'm just waiting for him to But of course, Gandalf wasn't really a wizard. He was actually he was a mage. He was a fighter with a ring of magic. You know that, don't you? Because he didn't really cast many spells, but you always saw him mages never used swords. I think it was unless of course he was dual rolled. I don't know. But Thomas Ogden, what are you doing down there? You're not even on the chat, slacker.
Mr. Mitch has joined us.
Mr. Mitch, g'day. But yes, that the guy with the goatee Gandalf beard, that's Vance, and we've got to find the perfect hat for him one day because he just he could pass for Gandalf any day. Oh, you got to get him a staff too, but that's another thing, another story. New South Wales will not use iVote again for elections. We used it last time plus a few times in the past. iVote? Okay. What are we talking about? Is there elections coming up, is there?
Yeah, I think it's the online voting in New South Wales.
Do you vote? No, you can actually, if you're going to leave the country indefinitely, you can actually write to the Electoral Commission and ask to be removed from the electoral rolls, which is what I did when I left Australia. Most people don't know that, of course. But it is a legitimate way to deal with that whole election thing. I got a love title. G'day Dave, how you doing? Okay, I still vote even out of the country since 2006. Well, that was a choice, but I have no faith in the electoral system. Which electoral roll would you, go on? It's done via, what do you call it? Electoral boundaries and things like that. My vote in a fucking blue ribbon fucking Liberal seat wouldn't have made any difference. It hasn't done for 30 years. I always voted, independent, but that's what you do. Paul in Sydney, g'day. We're about off to inspect aeroplanes. Okay. Yeah, well, you're in Bronte. Well, Bronte's a blue ribbon Liberal seat as well, isn't it? Okay. Everybody's saying I like that. So, yeah. Anyway, Tuesday we did my birthday party. We getting and that was 4.5 hours in at Susie's, and I think Chanya is not used to drinking because she was not well the next day. She took her. We went out to lunch on Wednesday. We didn't video that because that's it. We're up to Tuesday night. Yeah, we're just having lunch, but we'll get back to our normal Wednesday lunches. Hopefully next week and get things back on track to our normal. Next Thursday I'm doing my I think Moderna or Pfizer shot. Hopefully I'll be good for a Friday visit to Susie's next week, but Wednesday we should be back to doing lunches. Right, now here 1 year today. 1 year today, arrived 8 a.m. this day last year, 15 days in quarantine first. Yeah, I know. Somebody was sent me a link this morning about, I don't know whether we should even talk about that. Something came up as an article that, where is it? Is it Dave? That's a YouTube thing. can't remember where it was. Somebody's mentioned something about. I might have been on my messenger feed. Let's see if it was messenger feed. There's a link that somebody sent. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's Gordon sent me about the female staff very anxious after spy cameras discovered in bathrooms at the Australian Bangkok embassy. Oh my God. No, it must have just been in my normal feed, but there was a. Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Can't really talk about it any further than that because I can't remember. I don't know whether you can't go back and find the link you looked at. Warren Thurrott, I haven't seen you for a while. G'day, how you doing? I'm trying to get back on schedule again. I know Christmas, New Year does that. I'm totally sort of off the schedule myself. Fancy new gaming computer? Yeah, that's right. He hasn't actually done much apart from got the Windows updates done, but he's on track. The air conditioner arrives on Monday. We should have a pretty good chance to sort of get him up and running and getting some gaming done on Tuesday. So where do we? Wednesday we went to lunch. Thursday, Chanya was back at work Thursday. I was gaming on Thursday. And I was gaming yesterday as well, put a video out, and Todd went to Susie's. Well, actually, getting back to that, you went to the language school to register for language school. Tell us about your experience at the language school. Come on.
Oh, language school was awesome. I've been doing the stuff online, speaking to one of the managers and everything like that via email and all that sort of stuff. And okay, all good to go. You've got to come into the school to get your textbooks because I'm doing it online, being outside of Bangkok to catch the train in every day to go into Sukhumvit and everything because it's on Soi 13 from memory. So went in there. First thing they asked, okay, do you want your visa? And I said, no, I've already got my visa. I actually want to learn Thai. Oh, really? And it was just a completely different story after that. Like there was about that much paperwork to do if you wanted the education visa. When I said, no, I'm okay. I've already got a visa. 2 pieces of paper. And it was, okay, sign here to get your textbooks, sign here. This is when your classes scheduled, gave me the month schedule and everything like that. And nothing was an issue. Nothing was an issue at all. And how you want to pay? You want to pay cash? No, I'll do a QR code. Oh, you got Thai bank account. And sort of having everything all set up, it was a completely different experience. I think if someone went in there to get the education visa, like we were chatting earlier this morning, I'm sure they get a lot of Thai kickers because the education visa is one way to stay a long time here in Thailand. But as soon as no, I've already got my visa, I don't need help with that, it completely changed the atmosphere of the area. So that was my sort of first experience actually meeting everyone there at the school. So awesome. Got my textbook, if I can find it. First textbook ready to go.
Yeah, but you are doing it online, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is you can do it either online or you can do it actually in the classrooms. They've only just started the classrooms up again because of the flu situation.
Yeah, but I was told when I made the inquiry, I wanted to know, could I do some days online and some days no? You got to choose online or classroom.
You got to choose.
Yeah,
but you can change once you finish your semester. Like the first semester is what they call Journey 1. When you start Journey 2, you can then change to the classroom, but you can't sort of swap and change halfway through that semester type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no problems. And then, of course, being in Sukhumvit, it's only walking distance to Susie, so I thought, no, it's late afternoon because I dealt with Home Pro yesterday to get all the air conditioning and everything, installation sorted with my mate Fidel, and then, okay, I'll go have a bite to eat. Susie is an awesome cook as well as an awesome host, so a couple of quiet beers and a really nice sort of pork ramen or something she'll cook up for me. I was there for about half an hour, and it pissed down.
Yeah.
First tropical monsoon in Bangkok, and it wasn't just a nitnoy, little monsoon. It was young monsoon, big monsoon.
Yeah.
So I think it went through something like 3.5 hours. And if you watch some of Wazza's videos, when we are at Susie's, there's a little alleyway. It's Soy 71. That was flooded. That was water up above your ankles.
Yeah.
So
it does. It gets that way. Yeah.
And hence the girls weren't out sort of asking people if they wanted to come in for a drink. The old frog came out and started dancing in the street.
Yeah, we had frogs there. You had frogs dancing in the street. Anyway, just a couple of shout outs there. Gennaro, there's Stuck in Florida, g'day. And Stephen, Stalkback Thailand's here. G'day, how you doing? So Friday, so you got your first monsoon. Was it? I just got a question here, masks still compulsory? Yeah, I did see that report yesterday.
Yep.
Supposedly masks are not compulsory, unless of course you live in Pattaya where they'll fine you for not wearing a mask. Okay. It might be a local ordinance, but don't forget that the provincial governors do have a certain amount of say-so in certain areas, depending on how they're dealing with it. But supposedly the health minister says that they're not compulsory. Isn't it weird? That's going to obviously be the talking point for next week, I'm pretty sure. Once that gets out into the social media circles, he'll be sort of backtracking and making some sort of inroads to sort of try to cover the misinformation. What else we got there? Yeah, so I recently, Stephen, ESM. Recently I renewed our driver's license online. The only thing hard to get was submit the eyesight requirements every 5 years once you turn 45. It was difficult to get Thai optometrists to do in English. I didn't bother. I had the option to do that, but I said stuff it. I'm not going back there. I can actually go to Australia. If I was visiting, I can use my Thai license. There is it's just like as Thais in Australia. Australia, you get this bypass and everything. So if you're living in the two locations, you need to renew. But if you're only going to go back to visit, the only thing I may have to go back to in 2 or 3 years is actually go and sort out my superannuation stipend. Readjust my portfolio and things like that. That may be the only reason why I need to go back to Australia. Outside that, I don't see any reason why I would have to. I live in Thailand now. Susie is a great lady. Treats treats everyone, just not me. Treats me as a celebrity. Well, I think she's a celebrity, but it's the people on my channel, not just me. It's the people on my channel we associate with and we're friends with. That's what makes the channel and makes everybody look good. Me, I'm just a fucking Aussie that just did a few things different that most people are scared to do. And that's really what it comes down to. It's just taking sticking your toe in the water. And doing it different to everybody else, I was stuck in for complaints of 6 months. My 6 months, yeah. So somebody said he was, was it 6 months here? So 13 months, 13 February, 6 hours. Mr. Mitch, 6 months in Thailand, champion. Any feeling about wanting to go back home, Mr. Mitch? Or you're very happy staying in Thailand? No, that was everyone together helps everyone. That's it. And I think that's this is I think we need to get back to some sort of foundation of our society has broken up so much in the last 10 years. I was reading a report yesterday, sort of a defamatory report on Facebook. How the Facebook are losing money hand over fist with this whole meta bullshit. Mark Zuckerberg's attempt to control the metaverse he's a bit late to the party. The metaverse has been up and running in different areas for quite some time, depending on the games you play. But he now wants to control the whole thing. He's a control freak, and the advertisers are bailing out because they don't. This is what it is. But anyway, they're losing money. I think they lost something like 30-40 billion off the market value over the last week or something, which is a worry because one of my indexes has Facebook shares. Don't know how that one went down, but anyway, such is life. All moved in, everything done. Curtains, fly screens, extra time to chill by the pool. That's the way, Mark. Yeah,
Mark,
good on you.
Good on you, mate.
Mark.
That's it. Absolutely zero thoughts of going back to the US. That's what we like to hear. I think that's where Psycho is at the moment. That's his thought process. He's going to be a perpetual student here in Thailand. Well, that's the way it seems like. He's got a year. He has to check in every 3 months with his education visa. It's a 3 monthly check-in, stamping, and all that sort of stuff. That's going to fill his book up. But he's going to do that as long as he can get classes. I don't know if he can get to speak Thai fluently. Will he go on to do something else, or maybe he'll go try to get some sort of position in IT? Get a work visa and all that sort of stuff. OB visa, working for someone. He's not at the retirement age yet, of course. And what was that? I just heard. What time is it? Tina. No, she's on the phone. Off to work now. Running a bit late. Okay. We also have no plans to live in Bronte. He's just say goodbye. Can goodbye me. Come down. You can't see because I've changed the camera view. Can I? No, I can't do it. It's on the wrong screen. Kiss me.
No way. No.
Giang nom.
ไม่เอา
Giang nom.
No.
Giang nom.
วาลี Hello everybody สวัสดีค่ะทอสสวัสดีค่ะ
The camera's not working out very well.
Yeah.
It's trying to sort of do the recognition of a face or a body outline twice on the same camera.
วาเลนอยู่พูดมากนะ
I bought Mark. You sure?
อยู่พูดมาก
Go work. Go on. Go to make some money.
Yes I work every time not same you play game
Yeah, play game every day. Yeah. Yes, that's life, darling. It's life. I did all the working thing. No place to keep everything updated since like license, Medicare, passport. Also need to sort out superannuation, but not 60 yet. 15 years to go. Oh my God! You should be putting away. Look, if I can help anybody, 20% of your take-home pay goes into investments. Right, live on the rest. Right, and you'll be set up in 15 years. That's the only thing. If I can give anybody any clue, 15 years is a good stretch. Right, you can pretty much get a nice, sound, foundational portfolio without sort of all the ins and outs of having to deal with superannuation. Or even get yourself, once you got 100,000, you might even get yourself a what they call a wholesale account like me, where you control it, not the government. Little things like that. But look, I'm not an investment advisor, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Okay, just finished 5 expressways closed today. People stole copper wiring. Oh my God. This is what it's coming down to. Like, we don't need a virus to bring down to society. It's the rich get richer, the poor get screwed. And the poor are kept screwed to keep the middle class working and scared and working. Mr. Mitch speaks Thai fluently. Just does he? It's first I heard. Warren said hello, Chanya, but she was in and out. Like she's got to go to work. Warren and chat. Have a great day. Got to run. Okay, Robert. Great having you here as usual. Later, Miss Mitch and Nathan Horn. Good afternoon. Malcolm K. Anyone can retire in 12 months if you invest wisely in crypto. Now is a great time. Well, yeah, you see what happened to Bitcoin. That's not all that good advice.
No.
And don't get me started on NFTs. Right? Honestly, that is the fucking weirdest shit I've ever come across. A piece of digital art, a digital asset. That there is somebody who's already done this. He's gone out to all the NFTs, downloaded every digital asset in the NFT marketplace and put it up on a torrent, which means you can have it all. You may not have a written legal ownership, stamped in a ledger, but you've got the fucking artwork, right? And it's just a fucking digital picture or a digital asset or digital something. Well, if that's what you want, then fine. Come on, get real with life. Don't start me on NFTs. It's the fucking biggest scam. It's the biggest pump and dump market that's going to happen. That's going to crash big time, right? Once the cat's out of the bag. I don't know. It's wonder it didn't go down when that guy released that torrent. But I don't know if the torrent's still up. I was going to hook it myself. just this. I think it was what? How many terabytes? How many terabytes was it? It was something like 4 terabytes of data. I didn't have a big enough drive to download it to. But yeah, get the idea. It's just he went around and because the fact that the NFTs, right? All you get is a ledger to say that you owned it, right? And there was an NFT recently came out. Of a special movie. It was done on the June. Was it June or no? It was a June or Lord of the Rings or something. It was a special one-off. Right. He gets a ledger item, and then the guy thinks that, the group thinks that they've got full rights and ownership. No, right? No. You've got your name in a ledger where it says you have bought that item. It's a one-off. Doesn't give you the rights to ownership or copyright or anything else like that. It doesn't have a diddly squat with it. So just wake the fuck up, people, really. Of course, I've said the F word a few times now. They'll have an issue with my channel today. Anyway. People are just going to wake up. You've got no idea. Look, crypto is a great idea. Get the money control system away from the elites. Got no problem with that, right? But when the fees are 4 times what the SWIFT transfer fees are, it serves no purpose. Until you can actually walk out to a local coffee vendor on the street, right, and buy a coffee, right, with your crypto, it has absolutely zero value. I know people sort of said there's crypto credit cards, but look at the fee structures involved in them. Right, at the moment you're being raped left, right and centre with the fee structures. We're not buying the CEOs of the banking organisations and so on and so forth, Mercedes-Benzes and Ferraris to drive around in. These fees should be minimal, but they're not. They are the... Don't get me started. Anyway, let's move away from crypto. I'm not going to talk about crypto today. It's just a sore point. In the last 3 months, it's lost half its value, so there you go. Yeah, there you both. Yeah, NFTs are a scam. Brick and mortar banks. The bank system's a bit screwed as well. The fact that there's only 4 banks you're allowed to transfer money on TransferWise now. It's the 4 majors. That's a little sort of sign comes up. If anything more than 50,000 baht, there's some sort of no guarantee. At least it doesn't affect my stay here. But people using other lesser banks, they could end up with some real trouble. Unless of course they were doing buy transfers every 2 months. Because the maximum transfer now is 50,000 baht or something before it has to be sort of authorised or some sort of such bullshit. I'll do some more research on that one next time I do a transfer and see if I can find some information about this one. It's probably worth talking about. Again, it's all to do with the money laundering thing, Like Australia's also been sort of pushing something along this lines. Banks are not allowed to take cash deposits of more than $10,000 cash or something like that. Don't know what tradies are going to do these days with work in that sort of cash industry. But there's a big legislation going through with that. It'll be 10,000, then 3 years from now it'll be 5,000, then it'll be 2,000, 1,000. They're trying to remove cash from society. Yeah. Thankfully that won't happen in Thailand until after I'm dead. Thailand's very much a cash-based society, which is good. Behind NFTs allegedly is, this the technology. Yes, you both like the technology, right, is wonderful. I think the whole idea, right, at the moment it's being governed by ownership, whereas the whole idea of the technology, it's ownership free. But it still does require the infrastructure of cabled networks, right, which people seem to completely, overlook. At least a bank ledger, right, is a physical ledger, right, inside, off the net, right, and pretty much, a bank guarantee, right. Whereas the blockchain, right, totally functions and is totally solely governed by the routers that connect each country, right? And as if you didn't know it, like there's legislation now that America could switch the switches and they could completely cut America off from the rest of the globe, and the whole system would fall down flat on its face, right, in a matter of hours, right? They don't realise how much of it's just, don't get me started. At least you got bank guarantees of your funds, well, at least in Australia you do anyway, unless of course the government changes that too. But it's only why I keep a certain amount here, and of course there's a bank guarantee here in Thailand as well, the $1 million baht that I keep here in Thailand, and I don't keep any more because then of course the bank guarantees, fall over. Right, and they're a little bit safer than the ability to switch off a router. You get the whole idea, Anyway, moving straight along. Kryptonite never did kryptonite. Mark in Thailand. Crazy. Where did I sign up? Just came across an article that says scientists have found the sea spot in women's brains. Really? Send me that article, Warren. we might be able to do a talk about that one next week. I know somebody wants us to talk about transgender and bring the transgender topic into the conversation, but maybe we'll do that if we can actually get Jade on here and Psycho on here at the same time, or someone. Or another transgender that would like to come on camera. We can talk the transgender subject and sort of give some real insightful information there. But it's a sort of a one-sided argument, unless of course we've got somebody on the other in that arena to counterpoint any discussion. Dalla, I'm still paying off that bridge in Sydney I bought from a guy at the pub. Real bargain. It is like that, I tell you, the crypto market. I'll send you a prospectus. Good luck to those who I heard who are learning Thai. Well, actually, I was going to close out. We've got 4 minutes to go. I think it's 4 minutes to go. What's
what a time? Yeah, 4 minutes to go.
I can't really get it. That's right, 50 side there, right? There's my. I got to look there. Got to look there, not there. There. So it looks like I'm not going to go to the language school and do the Thai, but what I am planning to do is I'm planning to take my free account with ThaiPod 101 and then try a few months with their what they call assisted learning process, which is for the I think $29 US a month or something like that. I can't remember exactly. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. But you get access to all the material, right? You do get somebody to push you along, take you through the course, and critique you as you go, which is like it's a one-on-one, private tutorial type system. Because if psychos that's in school from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, then Todd will be in school from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's going to screw up any weekday rides, that, don't you, when you get your bike? So we have to ride
in the morning.
Oh, ride in the morning. I suppose we can do it morning. I suppose we can do morning. Getting out of bed at 8 o'clock and going for a ride at 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God, you're pushing some buttons there. How long's the break between courses? Don't you get a 1 week break between each course, or is it back to back?
Yeah, well, I can skip a month and then go the next month.
So I don't know. Are they monthly or how many? How does it work? So you get 3 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Yep. Hang on.
Let's just clarify this one here because I really haven't done enough research on it.
I'll write it out in basic and we can talk about it next week.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk Thai language because then I should have registered by then and started my own Thai and we'll fuck everybody up here and start talking Thai. And then we'll get psycho on. We're all practicing Thai and then Kimbo's going to sit there and go, what the?
I'll start learning back here. So.
Oh right, okay.
Thai only conversation. So.
Oh my God, fair enough. I speak enough Thai to get by, and I'm fairly well understood within my circle of influence. But again, most of the people I deal with here, they're quite happy to talk English and everything else. So it's sort of, most of it's just an academic pursuit. But it would be nice to be able to sort of, go into, like, we still haven't got the kitchen done. So I would like to go into Home Pro or Thai Wazza and talk to their, they've got these sections in there, the building sections where, how about I get you guys to come out and look at the kitchen I want to build because I'm waiting for Chanya for like 8 months to get this shit organised and she hasn't done it yet, It's all the COVID bullshit, but it's not a priority. She's not a cooker. She doesn't cook, So kitchens aren't a priority. But it just annoys me that I'm still, bending over on, one kitchen bench to prepare food and things like that, which is just the wrong height and get the whole idea. It's another one of those annoying things. But anyway, we'll talk about that at some stage. Does the teacher wear a little black dress and here? Oh, does she? I don't know. We can find out.
I'll keep under my hat.
We can find out next week. Okay. That's it. Okay. Right. Anyway, we're out of here. Let me get the music up. We haven't had Stephen here to tell us to get the hell off.
Yeah, Stephen wasn't here.
So we'll have to just cue it ourselves. Don't forget, catch you next week, same time. If you want more of the out and about live stream stuff happening, don't forget I do have this fancy little gadget I bought, sometime. I think I've used it twice. But the problem is the fact that it, the audio can get a little muffled on it, which, but it seems like the the phone, the new Oppo phone, seems to have a better audio pickup than the one I had previously, which was the Realme. So we may be able to do better with those out and about live stream stuff. The problem I get with the out and about live stream is, reading the chat, because like the fact that I have to wear glasses, and of course my glasses are reading glasses, and then of course you're trying to walk around and you're forever doing this, and so you don't trip over something because it's all fuzzy down the ground, And I'm not going bifocals. That is just that's like giving in to the system. Seriously, bifocals bullshit. And of course, you want bifocals, and you want the reading part where you read. I want it in a proper vision below and above, so I can see people above. And don't get me started. So it does makes live streaming difficult to keep up with the chat, but we're quite happy to do that. If you want us to do more of the live stuff, if we're going to do more Susie stuff, well, I think we're going to make a habit of going live at Susie's place. We were going to leave that with our Discord community mostly, live streaming to Discord when we're there, but we've still got to organise the little speaker box, so you guys that come on and actually speak to the staff and all that sort of thing. So there's a few little things like that, and of course we've got some we've got some writing stuff to do as well. Anyway, I'm out of here. We're gone 2 minutes over. Okay, peace out, guys. Next week, and we'll stick around if you want to say something. Discord's open. We'll be here for a while. We just want to cut the live off and leave you guys to get on with your day. Next week, okay? Bye for now. Todd Austin show?
Todd Austin show?
Todd Austin show? What's a Todd Austin show? How dare he come and have his own show? Oh my God, really?